Hey, thank you for having me. I basically started my journey in supply chain when I started my master's at Anfo Management School, which was 4 years ago now. I started my master's in 2021. And after that, it was a 1 year course. So after that, I immediately luckily and immediately found a job at Barry Callebaut, which is a chocolate company, and I started in Visa, which is actually the biggest chocolate factory in the world. So it was
Wow.
very intimidating at the beginning, but also very exciting because the first thing that attracted me for that company was, oh, chocolates. I will get to eat so much of chocolates on a daily
Definitely.
basis. So I started at Barry. I started as a raw material planner, so everything that goes into a chocolate, all the raw materials. Of course, we had different people in the team, so I was responsible for certain raw materials, but I did that role for almost 2 years. Yeah, almost 2.5 years. So by the time I started my next role, I was almost aware with what is happening in each and every raw material and what are the problems and issues and things that you can experience with all of those. So I started off as a raw material planner, and then I was also the master planner in the same company, same team, which was a bit of a different role because it was more linked to capacity planning and how you want to split different types of chocolates on which lines on which days. So it was more of next, or let's say the upper step to the raw materials. So raw materials was at the bottom. This was like one step above. Um, and now I moved to Zundert in the Netherlands as a production scheduler. So here I am more responsible to schedule what different kinds of productions can be done on different lines on what days based on the number of people we have. So it's like I'm getting to see the chain. I got to see this chain start at the beginning from raw materials, then to it becoming chocolate as a whole, and then now in Jandad, we are actually using that chocolate from Belgium
Okay.
to make different products that we have. So it's been like a very nice journey.
Definitely.
And yeah, it's very interesting as well because overall I've gotten to see and to talk to a lot of people within the company, also outside the company. So yeah, it's been a very fruitful journey for me and also very stressful at times because yeah,
True.
biggest chocolate
Supply
factory
chain.
in the world. Yeah, and supply chain, that is just always there.
Definitely. But you're living, I think, a lot of people's dream job, having worked in a chocolate company. Like, oh my God, यही मेरा सपना है, इसीलिए तो मैं बनी हूँ. And
Exactly.
yeah, like chocolates are the dream. And I feel anyone who would, I have approached so many companies and like that internship fairs with the hope कि एक chocolate खाने मिल जाए.
Yeah, but after a point, it's like if you're surrounded by so much of chocolate, you don't feel like eating
You're
it anymore.
tired.
You really, yeah, you're tired, and sometimes you also
True.
have to stop yourself. Ki, okay, no, 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 I don't want to
Health.
eat anymore. Health, yeah, yeah.
Definitely. And I feel that the fact that you have seen the whole journey from raw material master and production planning, you have hands on experience with the whole thing now. But at the same time, I feel it is a very challenging task as well. So, what has been some of the experiences that you felt were really challenging for you?
I think the most challenging, or like something that I was not expecting was how fast things can go wrong, and on sometimes on such large scales how things can go wrong simultaneously. So to to be in that position and to handle things, because you have to make sure at the end of the day that your production is working, that you have things working in the factory, that your customers are getting the orders. So to make sure that every part of the chain is working perfectly, and that you are not responsible to stop that chain, I think was the most um yeah scary at the beginning for me, because like I said, I immediately started this role after my masters, and I was a fresher, so it was, yeah, I think it was just the scale of it all that really got to me. And it was stressful at the beginning because I was still learning, it was still new, so I didn't know how I could make things better. But luckily, I had really supportive managers. I had a really supportive team who helped me get my thoughts streamlined, and let me make my mistakes to grow in the role itself.
Wow, that's actually awesome. But I have a question. So, how close are the theoretical concepts to the real life implementations?
I would say the theoretical concepts are the base that you need to start your career with. But when it
Mhm.
comes to real life things, yeah, you can learn different formulas. You can learn different things. You can with the help of formulas you can know what kind of stock levels you need to have, what kind of safety stock you need to have. But when it comes to reality, there are some times when, oh, you will realize that, oh, maybe I need to get into my safety stock, because otherwise things will just not work out. So I think theoretical knowledge, yeah, really helps you to understand what and how supply chain is, and when it also comes to different types of incoterms, etc., you need that knowledge, of course. But it's also how you yourself implement those theoretical things into whatever issues that
Real
you're going to
life.
face
Mhm.
in the real life. So it's, yeah, it's a balance between learning how things are working in your role in your company on the practical end, but also sometimes digging back to, oh, I had learned this in my theory, maybe I can try this here and see how it goes, kind of a thing. So it's, yeah, it's um it's similar but also different, so it's kind of like a balance. Yeah.
Definitely. Like what you just described is something that I will be experiencing in the near future.
Yeah.
I'm in my theoretical knowledge space right now, and I'll be transitioning to the real world. And that definitely feels a little bit scary. And I feel that because it's gonna be the first job, it's gonna be intimidating as well. Like, oh my God, I'm expected to know this. I need to function and ensure that I don't make mistakes. At least we hope from ourselves that we
Yeah,
don't.
exactly. Yeah.
But I feel that I want to love to, if you could describe how does that transition feel, and how do you like deal with that feeling of anxiety, like I don't want to make any mistakes, and how do I just stay calm?
I think the most important thing is when you start, wherever you start, like not only as a fresher, but even let's say you are 2 3 years into your role and you're starting at a new company or at a new role. I think the most important thing is to ask as many questions as you can to your team members who have been in their positions for some time, to your managers, or even to people who are related to what you're going to do. Because the more you ask questions, the more you understand how certain processes are going to work, how your role is going to work, the more you can have backup plans in your head, that okay, if plan A goes wrong, I have a plan B. If plan B goes wrong, I have a plan C. And I think that is the most important thing in supply chain overall, is to at least try to have certain backup plans. I know for a fact that you always cannot have these backup plans, and sometimes it's like, yeah, you only just have one plan and you have to deal with it somehow. um, but the fact that you are trying to think of other alternatives, because of the knowledge that you've had over a certain period of time, I think that would really help. And that would really help you calm yourself down, because you are always aware that okay, even if this thing goes wrong, I can always resort to my plan B or plan C. So I think that is the most Important thing that you will also learn over time. You will definitely be super scared at the beginning, but yeah, you just have to learn and see how things progress for you.
That's beautiful, and thank you for letting us know of how it actually works, especially the plan A, plan B aspect,
Yeah.
because I don't think anyone would see it coming that, oh my God, I need to have a backup plan. But
Yeah.
always having it is safer.
Yeah.
And I feel that since you have also transitioned countries, you have been to from India, then you went to Belgium, and now you're in Netherlands. It is definitely a journey. So
Yeah.
how does one adapt to different changes, especially say countries as well as companies?
Oh, yeah, I think coming from India to Belgium, uh, since I was gonna begin my master's, so it was, I don't think I really thought about it that much. I mean, of course, I was scared because I left my parents,
Yeah.
my friends, and everybody I knew back home. But I was also so much focused on getting things done here, even in terms of documentations and making sure that I find the accommodation, I start my course, I'm on time for lectures, I complete my assignments. That 1 year was so busy that it did not really give me time to think about,
To
yeah, if I was scared or what was
transition.
happening.
Yeah.
And by the time the course was done, I was so used to the environment, so used to the weather, and luckily I had a very good set of friends in my masters who never actually let me feel that I'm missing home or I'm going through a big transition, because all of us were going through the same thing, so we were just there for each other. And then yeah, and then when I started with Barry, it was scary at first because it was I think I was the when I joined, I think I was the youngest person in the team. So I had people who had experience of like 10, 20 years in the company, so it was scary. But I think even in that scenario, I was really lucky with the manager that I had, with the team that I had, who helped me through this transition. And now when I moved to Netherlands, yeah, it was hard as well to leave my friends here because they
Yeah.
became my second family. But I think, yeah, while moving to the Netherlands, my focus on was on rather yeah was is on just the new job, getting used to the job, and again falling into the same things of getting the documentations done and getting things done. So yeah, I think for me, the transition was made simpler by the people that I was surrounded by. Yeah.
True. And I feel people do play a very important role in making life easy or hard.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
I feel that the way you described it, it's actually beautiful. It literally shows how adulthood hits. You
Yeah.
get so busy with managing and figuring out the practical
Yeah.
aspects that you sometimes even end up forgetting that, oh my God, that's how I transitioned. So much I had
Yeah.
on my plate, and
Yeah.
I have done it successfully. And I feel that is
Yeah.
very beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about supply chain, what exactly made you choose the sector in the first place?
It actually started. So when I was in India, I was doing my bachelor's. It was a dual degree that I did. So mechanical engineering plus a MBA in supply chain, and it was a 5-year course. So we were expected to do two different internships. One was a technical internship, and one was a management internship. So when I started with the technical internship, I was working in Godrej, and it was like a 2 month, 2.5 month internship during the summer. And there I was basically responsible, or rather more to study how to improve the manufacturing processes that they still had going on, for which, of course, I was expected to be on the factory floor to see how actually the manufacturing is going on. And I think that's when it really struck me to see, oh, how different parts are coming in to Mumbai in Godrej from different parts of the world, and how the entire logistics is going on. Like, it was so interesting to me to see how different parts that are required for a certain machine are coming from different parts of the world, and just becoming one big or small product. So I uh, I got really interested to study more about it, and we had to select a major for our MBA, like the main subject, which is when I chose supply chain, and that's when I got more insights to how supply chain actually works. And that eventually then led me to my master's. And luckily, unlucky, well, yeah, well, unfortunately there was COVID, but luckily for me, from just a career perspective, that's when supply chain actually started booming, and people started talking about it
Definitely.
more. So yeah, I think that was also another big exposure to supply chain, and that actually also showed how things are so dependent on the entire supply chain. So which was also, I think, like the perfect timing to get into a master's of supply chain and to work in the industry right after COVID
COVID
was
happened.
settling. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
You're very lucky.
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah,
And I really love the fact that this is how amazingly you got into the masters, that you had your experience and the exposure before you got into the sector. And I
yeah,
feel that, as you said, COVID might be a very negative thing for sure for a lot of people and everyone
yeah,
around the world.
for sure.
But at the same time, it did give the sector a recognition that it deserved.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
importance of supply chain is highlighted like to a very another level by COVID. So I think
yeah.
we should give it a little more credit as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And talking about how supply chain has boomed, what exactly are some of the important trends and capabilities do you think that have happened in the past and will happen in the future in the sector?
Well, I think, yeah, in the future, everybody is everywhere. It's AI nowadays. So I think that's
Hmm.
like the biggest thing that's going on. But at the same time, I also feel, especially after working in supply chain, that even though AI will actually drastically improve a lot of processes, a lot of forecasting, and a lot of things in each and every company. But I also feel like with supply chain, there is always some human intervention that is needed. At some point or the other, you need somebody sitting behind the desk to to set boundaries, like where things need to stop, or where things need to be decided. I think that will always have, I think supply chain, given the current AI situation, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Of course, I can only talk about today. But given that, I think human interaction will always be needed in supply chain. And I think what has boomed, like I said, it was majorly the COVID that made this boom in supply chain happen. So I think that was um, really like an eye opener to a lot of industries and to a lot of people, because everybody saw the potential of supply chains and how things can still reach you even when the world is shut down, literally shut down.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think there were a lot of things that came after the COVID in supply chain that has helped companies today improve and see what is missing and what we need to do. So that was a good thing. But I think for the future, yeah, it's of course the AI and how things are gonna change.
Definitely. And thank you so much for pointing that out. I feel the importance of AI is Loki also magnified as to the fear among the people regarding the whole AI. But I feel so lately I've come across a lot of posts and prompts about use of AI in supply chain. And
Yeah,
the way people have appreciated of how it is helpful and reducing a lot of time that was earlier
yeah,
spent is commendable, I feel. I feel
Yeah.
if we put it to the right use, then AI can be a major, major supporter, not just for supply chain, but I feel almost all the sectors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's true. It's gonna give so much of accurate data that I think now is somewhere or the other lacking or missing, and that's a very positive thing because that can drastically change things for a lot of roles, a lot of companies, and it'll
True.
reduce a lot of work pressure as well.
Mhm. Definitely. And I hope that we are able to use it in the right way and get the
Yeah,
maximum benefits out of the actual
exactly.
system.
Yeah,
And yeah, I feel that lately, like the urge to use AI at any and every aspect is very high. And I
yeah,
feel if we are able to maintain a balance as to how much we use it, it's not going to be as harmful as it is shown to be. Like, oh my
yeah,
God, it's going to take away our
yeah, exactly.
jobs. I don't think so. Like,
Yeah,
I feel that even if you ask AI some specific questions, it still fails at a lot of things.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's where human interference comes into picture.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And given the entire supply chain, like there are so many things that humans need to decide, like basic things, like even if you are working in a procurement field and you want to select a particular supplier, there are of course things that you will see, you will compare between two three suppliers. And I think now with AI, and at least in Europe with the entire yeah, and since I work in the chocolate
Yeah,
field,
yeah.
I see the needs to source your materials from farms which are not deforested, or that use no child labor at all. Those things will also are also a very key important factor in choosing your suppliers, which I think AI can,
Not
okay,
too
if
well.
you if you yeah, not do well. Like you can of course put in those parameters, but again, some human is putting those parameters in the system for the AI
True.
program to choose those things. So it's, yeah,
Still
it'll
human,
always
yeah.
be, yeah, exactly.
Definitely. And thank you. That's actually a very proper, brief explanation as to how AI is going to be useful and won't take away your jobs in the
Yeah.
nicest way. And talking about advice, I would love for you to give us one specific piece of advice to a young girl entering the field of supply chain, me, and so that I can not just thrive but succeed in the sector the way you are succeeding right now.
I think what I would tell you, and what was something that I did not do because I was not aware of it, and it's something that not a lot of people talk about, is try to network with people as much as you can. Go to, there are many companies that hold sessions about different things, like even if they are explaining their own softwares, or they are telling you what kind of softwares they are developing or what technologies they are adding. Go to those things. Even if you can't go, try to find like online lectures or podcasts that you can attend, because those are the things that give you real life
Edge.
insights as to what is actually going on. And the more you network, the more you learn about people, you learn about their journeys, especially in supply chain. So I think do that, of course, do that, and never ever stop keeping up with the trends of whatever is coming. And I don't only mean about technologies, but like also in terms of what the companies are currently demanding, in terms of like what they need from their employees, what kind of skills they need, what kind of educational backgrounds they need. It's also very important to keep up with those kind of trends that are coming in. And lastly, just always try to be as calm as possible, because always know that supply chain is, yeah, it's sometimes gonna go wrong altogether.
Haywire.
So you should just know how to, yeah, be
Handle
calm
yourself.
as much as you can. Yeah, 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 exactly. Because something that I always keep saying is supply chain can never be boring. Even if you're working in one role, supply chain can never be boring because every day is a new challenge. You don't know
Definitely.
what kind of issues you're going to face and what new things you're going to learn from it. So supply chain, yeah, it's just never boring. It's
Boring.
always interesting.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for that amazing piece of advice. I have heard a lot of people say networking, but not the seminar aspect of it. What you just mentioned that, go to the companies and see whatever they are up to. And I should definitely try that because I feel that does give you a lot of edge as well as to how to function around in the
Yeah.
company. And thank you so much for this amazing, insightful conversation. I really, really enjoyed it, and I feel I can relate to it because I am almost halfway there. I just need to get my first job now.
You'll do
And I
it.
hope
I'm
it
sure
all
of it.
falls into place. Thank you for
Thank
giving me
you.
such amazing tips, and I hope that each and every person learns from your amazing journey.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.